So I found this mini PC online and wanted to check the specifications because it was a second-hand PC on the marketplace. And as you can see here, it has an Intel Celeron N3000 processor up to 2.08 GHz, 8 GB DDR3, and an SSD. And what else can we find? So the same processor, the normal frequency, and the turbo boost. It has some useful ports, but the thing is, comparing to this description, the one listed had multiple USB 3.0 ports. Here I could see that it's also supporting DDR3L. So I remember I had some module laying around. And if we go to another page, we can see the same processor, and also the pictures are quite different because this is a Gigabyte version, and the one listed on the marketplace has a different manufacturer. But also here it stated that it supports DDR3L. So this is a good news. And it's kind of small, as you can see. 0.69 milliliters, and it's like 11 centimeters per 10 centimeters and almost 6 centimeters tall. So it's a really mini PC. It also has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It supports dual display through HDMI and VGA, which is again useful. And I was wondering if I can repurpose it somehow. And it's also a fanless design. Until now I didn't own anything fanless, which is kind of cool, but I'm not sure how it can deal with the heat, if it's efficient enough. Here's a picture with everything dismounted. It should look the same. And as you can see here, it has 4 USB 3.0 ports as the one listed. So it should be more or less the same. I think there are different versions from the two websites. But it's again GB BACE 3000. It's the same model number. So these are the pictures which says Konika Minolta. These are the pictures from the marketplace. And it was listed for $10. But it came like this. So without the Wi-Fi module, without the charger, without the SSD cable, so everything that you see here, I just ordered. So this is the charger that I received, 19 volts and 2 amps, but it has a different plug. So I had to cut it and salvage another charger to take the plug. And this is the first view. You can see how small it is compared to the screwdriver. It has 2 USB 3.0 micro SD slot. There are some ventilation points. Also ventilation points here, a charging port, HDMI, and the network G45N, 2 USB 3.0 USBs. Also the VGA, headset and microphone ports. And that's basically it. It should also have a mounting adapter to mount it to a monitor, but this one came without it. This is the charger that I just ordered and changed the plug. So as you see, it has another plug now, so it can be used. It's also a very small charger. The part that goes into the wall is heavier than the charger itself. It has some scratches, but I think they are on the plastic, so it doesn't have any protective cover or anything on top. It's just pure plastic. So I tried to polish it, but it doesn't come off. Maybe in the future I'll paint it if it will be worth it. You have to see if you can use this mini PC on anything these days. It's not very old. I think it was developed in 2017 or something like that, but since it's a 2-core processor, I'm not sure if it will be capable of doing anything. I was thinking that maybe I can host some scrapers on it, because definitely I think it's too low to host a Plex server or something like that on it. So let's see what's inside. So it came with SSD mount, which is good. It's missing a screw, but I got used to it. So this is basically everything that we can find inside. It's missing the Wi-Fi module and the SSD cable. At the first view, we have just 2 screws in order to get the motherboard out. And my screwdriver is not magnetic, so I have to switch to another screwdriver. This one should do the trick. I don't want to lose the screws. So, okay. Now we should be able to take the motherboard off. As you can see here, it has 1 GB DDR3 RAM module. It has only one RAM module, 1 slot. So you can't use multiple modules. Very big beefy heatsink. So, oh, that BIOS battery doesn't look good. But let's see how the thermal paste is firstly. The screws are not very tight then. So this means someone else opened it up before. And yeah, the paste is still kind of fresh. So at this point I'm wondering if it will work at all, since there was someone else disassemble it before, and as I said, it didn't came with the adapter or SSD cable, so maybe the seller didn't want to have the opportunity to test it, because it took like 2 weeks for the adapter and the SSD cable to arrive. I ordered them from AliExpress. So maybe this is the reason why he didn't include them in the posting. Yeah, the thermal paste is fresh. It doesn't make much sense, but let's hope it will work at least. I can't see any burnt marks or any destroyed capacitors, but this is a good thing. I'm just wondering about the heat dissipation properties. I'm not sure how hot this gets, but I saw it has the ability to plug in a fan. As you can see in the right upper corner, it has a CPU fan. I mean, it doesn't have the fan, but it has the possibility to plug in the fan. I guess that is a connection for laptop fans. That battery doesn't look, it looks like someone broke in the battery or tried to open it. So we should remove and replace the battery after. So it has 2032 battery. But it has the cable on it, so a normal battery, a 2032 battery, should be around, I don't know, 80 cents or something like that. One that comes with a cable attached to it, it's $5, I think. So maybe we can do something so we don't have to spend $5 each time we want to change the battery. I think I have something in mind. But let's put the heatsink on. Okay, next let's see the battery. So I tried to measure the battery, but it doesn't have any current. So we need to change it. It's basically dead. So I built this. I had a cable from a laptop battery and just solder it to a battery holder, and then when needed I can replace it with a normal battery without the wires, because they are not so expensive. Like I said, they're like 80 cents a piece. So it's the same. Let's measure it. This one is new, so it's fully charged. And we just have to insert it and it should be good to go. It's a little beefier than the battery itself, but it should stay in place. Okay, so everything is back. We have to put back the two screws that we just removed in the beginning. We have just two screws holding the motherboard in place. Okay, now let's add the missing parts. So we have a new Wi-Fi and Bluetooth module, which is an M2 connector. And for these, you have to take into consideration that they are using IPX3, which is smaller than a normal antenna. And currently I have to search for a screw to tighten the board. I just found the screw, so put it in place. And we have to add the Wi-Fi antennas now. And we will have to take the motherboard out again. Because the antennas needs to be under the motherboard. So let's take the screws out again. And also we have a couple of screws in order to dismount the case, because the antennas should be on the other side, as it was from the manufacturer. I'm not sure why someone would take off the Wi-Fi module and the antennas, because they are not very expensive, but oh well. Especially they are not very common antennas, so they are smaller. As I said, there is one more screw that I just missed. Don't break it. Okay, that should be it. And here we will have to place the antennas. And I will use some double-sided tape, I think. They are larger than the original ones, but some double-sided tape should do the trick. So the antennas are in place. Let's put again those two screws. Until this point, I think I took them out 4 or 5 times. They are very small, so it will take a while to mount them. I don't want to break the antennas. As I said, they are not very common. Okay, so they are in place. It took me a very long time, but the SSD cable is also in place. And it seems that I should turn around the SSD mount, because it doesn't make any sense. It can fit in this way. So mount the SSD. It's the other way around. Everything is back in place. And let's put the screws back. 4 screws, and we should be ready to install something on it, since it has 1 GB DDR3 module. I think we would go with Linux, and the first thing that we will test will be Ubuntu, the latest version of Ubuntu. power button is still clicky after adding the antennas, so everything should be fine. So I didn't film this part, but I waited like 40 minutes for Ubuntu to load and it didn't. And I'm just thinking this is because 1 GB of RAM is not enough. So I will try to find another module. This PC goes up to 8 GB, but I don't think I have a module right now, DDR3. So I will search for a 4 GB module at least. I should have, I don't remember if I have a 2 GB module or a 4 one. Hopefully it will be a 4 one. Let's see what I have. Okay, so we have 1 GB, 2, and a 4 GB. Okay, we can use this one. I remember about that 2 GB one, but I also have a 4 GB Samsung, which should be okay. It's DDR3L. It should work. It has a normal 1.35 volts. I mean, this is a mini PC, it doesn't make sense to overclock it, so it should be okay. I'm hoping it will take less than 40 minutes now, at least to receive the error. It was just stuck, I think, for half an hour, and then it popped up something with unsupported something. I don't remember honestly, but it just didn't want to install it. I could have used it live from the USB, but since I want to use this mini PC in the future for scraping, I want to see if it can be used with all the capabilities. So it took like 1 hour and a half to have the screen. So now it's installing. I can imagine how slow it is if it took 1 hour and a half. Okay, 1 hour and 45. So let's install Brave and VS Code. I think that's everything that we need. Okay, let's print something. At this moment you'll see that it's very, very slow, even to run a simple print or save the file. Okay, saving the file wasn't so slow. Let's run it. Yeah, so it shouldn't take like, it shouldn't be instantly, but it's too slow. Let's see the second one. Yeah, takes a lot of time just to print one single line. So I'm not sure how usable it is. Let's see directly from the terminal, but it should be the same. I should use Python 3 first. Python 3, please remember Python 3. Okay. Okay, so now it's kind of instantly because it doesn't have to deal with VS Code. So it should be able to run something if triggered directly from the terminal. But I'm not yet sure about the scripting part. So I just decided to switch to Linux Lite. It should be much faster. So this took almost the same time, 1 hour and a half, 1 hour 45 to install Linux Lite. This is still slow, but it seems like it's a little bit faster. This is the first time using Linux Lite, so let's see what's around. I have document scanner, media player, Office, PDF reader. Everything is recognized. I think it installed the drivers also. The temps are okay. Chrome opens. Okay, let's install the updates because we are on Linux and they will not be automatically installed. We have Python installed, but I did a typo. So Python being pre-installed makes a lot of difference. Let me remember how to install VS Code. And it's not VS Code. It's just code. So sudo apt install code. We have now the VS Code installed. But we have to add the Python interpreter, and firstly we have to add the Python extension. And it took a while, as expected. Okay, let's see if this one will be faster. Doesn't seem to be really fast. We don't need the plus since we use the F, but let's try with 200. seems to be a little laggy, and it's somehow understandable. 20,000. Yeah, this is not fast enough to use it as a scraping machine. Let's see how it does on YouTube. Not great, I assume. It's loading very slow. So searching for my channel. And of course, great results. Okay. Let's play the latest video and see how it goes. Let's try to play it at least on 1080p. No. It's very laggy. It doesn't make sense. This won't be useful as a media player. No. Let's try again on 720 to see if we have any difference. So this is somehow okay, but the quality 720p 2024 is not really acceptable. And it takes a lot of time to load the video. The internet connection should be okay. I'm in the same room with the router basically. Yeah, so it's a kind of slow machine. I don't know if I can use it for anything, honestly. But hope you've enjoyed the video and please subscribe for the next one. Cheers.